Right, this is a place that you're supposed to be every single morning on Tuesday if you want to know matters business. Otherwise, you are totally missing out. And I know you're not missing out because you're watching. My name is Richard Okenye, and this is a lounge where we get to get down to business and discuss with experts, of course. You know, I talk a lot here, and you know, some of you have been trying to tell me not to smile a lot, so I'm bringing experts who also smile a lot, but no more, a lot more than myself. So I'm here sitting with Jonas Tesfu, who is a director and business development and strategic partnership. He has extensive experience in the world of business, accelerators, startups, and he's very keen, as he tells me, in young people and students who are, trying to venture into the world of innovation. I hope I haven't given the incorrect information. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Your second name, it is not very Okenye.
No, it's Tesfu. It's Eritrean. It's also very common in Ethiopia.
Wow.
Tesfu.
Yeah, I have interest in Ethiopia and Eritrea, but personal.
Tell me about it. What kind of interest is that?
The Kenyan girls might run away from me. But welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
You are really focused, and first of all, you're from Pangea Accelerator.
Yeah, Pangea Trust.
Pangea Trust.
Yeah, so it's our non-profit. We work with supporting African startups and entrepreneurs.
One of the startups that you've supported has been here. I don't know if you're aware of Onesha.
Yeah, I know Onesha.
Yeah,
I spoke with Bernard yesterday.
Yeah, Bernard has been here a couple of times.
Okay, nice. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
You have quite an extensive portfolio, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, we worked with over 200 startups. Before, we used to do these programs where we focused on all sectors, all industries. Now we do a little bit more specialized. So we do a lot of food and agri solution, obviously merged with technology. We do a lot of stuff within urbanization issues like affordable housing or water sanitation or waste management. Now we're looking into blue economy, which is very exciting. Basically, any ocean economy. Yeah.
Interesting. Are there innovations around?
Not so much in Africa now, but it should be. Like it's a $300 billion industry in Africa. Okay, you have 49 million people employed.
Wow.
90% of all the trade goes through
the
boats,
waters,
right? Because it's expensive transporting stuff on land.
Right.
So the opportunities within what can we do on the ocean economy and specifically the coastal areas. So if there's any listeners on the coast, they should be looking at it.
Yeah, I thought that, like this big, large water bodies are left to big corporations to venture into innovation.
No. Forget that. It's all kinds of stuff from people growing seaweeds and then selling it to like lotion companies and stuff, and people that are doing like mangroves. Basically mangroves forest, they grow mangroves forest, and then they sell the CO2 that it captures. So every year they get money for the CO2 that this forest is capturing.
We have a hyacinth problem at Lake Victoria. I hope someone innovates and gets some support from you guys. So in terms of the startups that you've already invested and worked with so far, what exactly do you go in and do with them?
Several things. So during the accelerator program, we focus on all areas of capacity building, from like how to go to market, how to fundraise, investor readiness, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Once you invest the money, that's actually when the tough job starts, because now you want to guide them into making their dreams happen or actualizing on their ambition.
Right.
So, but how do you make that not too naive, realistic? What are the low-hanging fruits, out there? So we do a lot on strategy, a lot of door opening, a lot of work when they need to raise funding again, because that's usually when you call your investors. And they're like, okay, I need to raise funding, and then you ask the investors, what is the best way I can raise this? What could be a reasonable valuation? How much should my ask be? How much money do I need? What is the best way of utilizing that money, right? Because the better game plan you have, the easier it is for you to attract investors, right? If your game plan is bad, nobody wants to put in money, right?
At this moment, we are going through a pandemic, and I understand a lot of startups which had already begun, let's say in 2019, are losing traction. If they had already, done some of the R&D, maybe rolled out some of the products that they have, the pandemic has paralyzed that traction. How does it look like for them in this ecosystem? Because you're actively in it currently as we are speaking. How are the startups doing?
Good question. I think it's difficult to say. I would say that some are benefiting from COVID because everything has gone digital, right?
Yeah.
Most startups are digital.
Right.
So, but for others, they have built a momentum, and then COVID has kind of disrupted that. But the problem is this: what you have to do in those kind of situations is you have to be creative and figure out, okay, if this doesn't work because COVID had messed everything up, what can I do instead, right? You do a pivot, right? You upgrade your game plan and adapt it. But if you don't do it, you can't expect to, things to change either.
To progress.
Yes, I think what COVID has meant for startups and SMEs in Kenya is that you need to adapt. Those that are good at adapting, they will be successful. Those that are not adapting, they will be victims of this,
Right.
this
Now,
terrible.
For the startups that you work with, what is the criteria for you guys to select them? Because a lot of people, before I came in, when they saw your poster, they're like, "Oh, I have tried so much to apply with these guys, but I get rejected every time."
I mean, to be honest, the trick is you need to get this kind of hair, Once you have it, you kind of get like magic card in. No, I mean, we look at team. Strong team is number one, because when it's early, it's not that much they have to show for, so you need to believe in the people, right?
Right.
Two is that are you addressing a big market? Is it a big problem, right? Three, do you have any momentum, traction? Are you speaking with people? Are you selling to somebody? Or is this just on paper? You know what I mean? Which is a academic theory thing, But this is, entrepreneurship and startups is not academics.
It's actual feasible solutions.
Yes, you need to do it in practice. Otherwise, it doesn't matter, right? And usually you say that the idea is 1%, implementation is 99%. So if you want to get investment, if you want to attract, and for others that have been applying to us, for example, really show that you're building up on momentum and really show that you're working on making things happen, right? That's what you want to see.
So you are still investing even at this period that we are
Yeah,
going
of course. Many are. It's many of our startups have done fundraising journeys during COVID and been successful at it. What you see in Africa that I wish could happen, what you don't see in Africa, but I wish it could happen, is that crowdfunding. Internationally, crowdfunding, which is crowdfunding is when you have investors online that invest in you, right? They buy shares or equity from your company, right? This has become the main source of fundraising for startups internationally, except in Africa.
Why aren't we going there?
Exactly. One, it's platforms. There are very lack of platforms that build on trust. And second thing is that regulatory aspect. If you are making a public offering, you're selling your stuff online as a company, you need to do it legally, and it needs to go through regulations. So regulations are not really there yet.
Right.
But we are looking at how do we get the African diaspora and the Kenyan diaspora to invest in startups and SMEs, because last year they sent 3.1 billion USD officially, and this is an increase with 12%. So even though economy is going down, diaspora is going up. How do you connect the diaspora? Yeah, because then I think startups and businesses will be much better off, because the diaspora is huge, man. And if you can connect them better, I think Kenyans can solve Kenyan problems.
Right now, as a startup, I'm coming to you, to your trust. Now you've already selected me from the pool of applicants. The process now, from the very moment that you meet me to the end, how does it look like?
Wow. First, we do a need assessment. So we're trying to figure out what are your biggest problem, what is most relevant, and then we adapt it to that. You get me? We have a mix of certain workshops, more like, teaching theory, capacity of how to solve stuff. But most of it is actually connecting you with experts, mentors, door openers.
Not just financial support. There's impact.
Money won't solve anything, you need to combine it. So once it gets powerful, this is, if you can be put into a system where you have access to all the network expertise that you need, in addition to having funding, then you can do stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
But just getting funding but not having access to expertise, you would just waste that money. Yeah, you would just waste that money on getting that expertise, right? And then there's no money left.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So combining competence with funding, that's what I think, magic happens.
A tough question. Has any startups that you've invested in failed thoroughly?
So far, no, but I'm 100% sure it will happen. Fairly sure. Yeah, it happens. If you look at the statistics, right? But
Yeah,
that's the whole
because
point.
I see that a lot of startups, even like the larger percentage of startups, 3 years into they dip. Yeah. So how do we deal with that? How do we turn that around?
Honestly, it's nothing wrong with that. This is internationally. What's it's wrong is this: certain cultures are okay with taking a risk and failing and learning from it, and certain cultures it's shameful.
Yeah.
It can't be shameful. We need to have a culture. We need to have acceptance where you can learn, try, fail, learn again, try again. Maybe you succeed or maybe you fail.
So when you
Do it
fail as a
again.
startup, doesn't reflect on how innovative you are.
No,
Really.
no, 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 no. Like, for example, in Silicon Valley, they have something called the FailCon. It's a conference based on entrepreneurs going up, just speaking about failures.
Wow.
Yeah, I got $10 million investment. 2 years later, boom.
I blew it.
You know, I did this, I signed this agreement, this person stole everything. I did this, you know, so people are doing it. Why?
We should have more of those here as well.
Exactly. So the whole like perspective around it is that people embrace that, you know, failing is okay. Failing can be good if you learn from it, right?
Yeah, it can be a learning
Yeah,
process.
and then what many say in Silicon Valley is that they don't want to invest in you unless you have failed before.
Yeah.
Because that's when they know you have learned. And if you haven't failed, if you don't have a fail CV, they don't want to put money into you.
Because you can't be prepared for any of those eventualities.
Exactly.
Right.
So failure is not negative, is not positive. You get me?
It's a learning.
That's it.
Yeah. Now, we're trying to cover as much as possible also
Go ahead,
to make sure that you go to the rest of your
No.
busy day. But why young people?
In Africa? I mean, first of all, the median age in Africa is 19. In Europe, do you know what it is? 39.
Probably, probably way older.
US like 43. So if Africa was a person, it would be a 19-year-old. And looking at the world today with technology, all of these opportunities, how education has changed, if you're a resource smart young person, you can basically pick up any skill and can
run with it.
Exactly, that's it. So if you want to invest in nation building, if you want to invest in the future, you need to do it through youth. But in Kenya, 70% of the population is under 30. It's a very young country.
That's a good population to work with.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So you need to focus on the youth. What I don't like is this. Society are not good at involving the youth. You know, I see youth as probably the most resourceful kind of like part of society, but it's probably the least utilized one.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, as we wind up and also as you prepare your last remarks, you weren't prepared, but we are going to play a game.
Oh man.
An excellent way to start your day. So we are playing a game called Name the Brand. So we're going to be shown my director, Mr. Boniface, is going to show us a couple of images of brands. Then you're going to write your answers, and we will mark against each other, yeah? There are only 6 brands.
6 brands.
Let's go. The first one.
Is it allowed to
It's
cheat?
up there.
Okay.
I can't see it, Kinja. Oh my goodness. How did I forget this one? Next up. What? Third one. What? Fourth one. Next. Okay.
Where do you get this stuff?
Next.
Okay, that was easy.
Please. Yeah. Respect our. Okay. Pure guesswork might have saved World War.
Oh, wow. I don't know. How many did you get?
Let's see.
I could only answer like 3 of them.
First one?
I think.
Family Bank. My God. Next.
This is Beats, huh?
We passed, both of us. The kind of is Beats.
Yeah, okay.
How did I miss Beats?
Oh, you missed it?
Yeah.
For real?
You're supposed to mark for me.
Oh, sorry, brother. You got 0 points so far.
Third one?
I don't know that
Kengen.
one.
Kengen has a look. Fourth one?
I didn't know that one.
Kenya Railways. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got point there.
Next one? Toyota.
That one.
And last?
What is that?
Star Times. I wrote multi-choice.
I wrote FSD. Okay. You got, should I tell you?
Yeah.
2 points.
You got 2.
2 out of 6.
Yeah.
I got 2?
You got 2 as well.
Ah, perfect, man. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much.
But they were difficult though.
Yeah, it was
Like
a bit
the
difficult.
first
I don't know where they
three.
got these ones from.
Yeah, the first three was tricky for me.
Yeah, I'm worried I missed beats, and I'm really into
I
technology.
got beats one. Yes, I actually got that one.
But thank you very much for having the discussion. I think a lot of people have learned. I wish we had so much time, to continue. But I hope we can keep in touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't,
absolutely, brother.
Don't ghost me to Ethiopia.
No. I will not do that. And for anybody listening, like honestly, I think if you're an entrepreneur, you have ambitions, this is the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Where can people get Pangea Trust and other works?
I mean, you can go to our website, pangeatrust.co. We are on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, same thing there. Just search on Pangea Trust. We have several programs running this year. We're also building this digital platform, this crowdfunding platform, which is to enable the Kenyan diaspora to support young entrepreneurs and SMEs. So if there's a great ideas out there, great time to get busy.
One last remark. What is one unique thing that is different from the Nairobi ecosystem and the various ecosystems that you've been to?
Or what makes Nairobi different?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I guess everybody has an idea. You know what I mean? Okay. Everybody. If I go and stop somebody and be like, hey, you have an idea for a business? Promise
is that a good thing?
Yes. Because that means that they are thinking about it. But then the areas where you need improvement on is implementation, right? And how do you become like a really good implementer? And that's why I'm thinking if you're young, everything's there because you can pick up all this stuff. Yeah. You can become very efficient. Yeah, and if you can be a efficient problem solver combined with you having a great idea, man,
you will hack it.
Do it. Do it.
That was Jonas Tesfu, who was having a conversation with me in the world of innovation, startups, and investment. So he has expertise all across the continent, from Kenya, Rwanda, Silicon Valley, from Berlin as well. So you can check out what he said. If you missed out the interview, it will be later up on YouTube. That is at KUtv Kenya. Reach him out on social media as well. You handle at?
Oh, you can just find me on Jonas Tesfu.
Jonas
on
Tesfu.
Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram.
So check him out there. I am taking a short break, but I'm coming back with Peter Oluoch, who is going to talk to me about investment in the world of stocks. Don't go too far. My name is Richard Okenye, and this is Biashara Tuesday, where you're supposed to be this morning. A while back, most people would have laughed if you said you hold part of your investment portfolio in cryptocurrency, a type of virtual currency that is secured through various cryptographic and computer-generated means. But these days, you might be seen as behind on times if you don't currently invest, think, or never traded a single Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin in your life. Crypto is everywhere, and on Tech Voice this Tuesday, I pose the question, should you invest in cryptocurrency? The concept of digital monies such as Bitcoin that people send online is not that complicated in itself. After all, transferring money from one online bank account to another is doing exactly that. Cryptocurrencies use blockchain technology, a way of sending data in cyberspace. This is different from normal currencies such as dollars and shillings because cryptocurrencies are decentralized, which means they are not regulated by financial authority like a government or central banks. Cryptocurrencies are global, meaning they have the same value in every single country. This feature makes them much easier to transfer from one person to another across the globe without the headache of exchange rates. On December 16, 2020, the price of Bitcoin hit $20,000 for the first time. On January 3, 2021, its value soared above 34,000 or close to 4 million Kenyan shillings, meaning the cryptocurrency had gained almost 500,000 Kenyan shillings in the first few days of 2021. It has since drifted lower to around $31,500, which translates to around 3 million Kenyan shillings. Experts believe the recent jump in the price has been due to a wave of money from both institutional and private investors, spurred on by the coronavirus pandemic. The big disadvantage of digital assets such as Bitcoin and the like is that they are shockingly volatile, and there have been reports that people have had to wait to get their cash out because of technical snarl-ups. Bitcoin is at the very high-end risk of the investment spectrum. The price of cryptocurrencies is volatile. Some can go bust, others could be scams, and occasionally one may increase in value and produce return for investors. If you want to invest in crypto, think first whether you would buy a house worth 4 million Kenyan shillings on the plains of Budalangi constituency, Western Kenya. The physical setting of Budalangi at the floodplain of Zoya River and an increased runoff from degraded catchments are contributing factors to the flooding. The floods lead to disruption of human settlements and destruction of crops, shelters, and facilities. The next day, everything could be fine again in Budalangi. If you do invest in crypto, be prepared to lose some or all of your money. Crypto is not conventional investing. As with any investment, do your due diligence and don't pin all your hopes in one company or cryptocurrency. Spread your money around so that you can spread the risk. This has been Tech Voice with Richard Okenye. Catch you in the next one. The price of Bitcoin this morning, and that was cryptocurrency.